So here we are on a Saturday morning for our latest adventure. And we're with my buddy here, Mike, and we're going to be picking up something very special today.
Yeah.
You'll see it in a little bit later in the video, but this is going to be an awesome addition to the Pittsburgh Cars and Coffee family. And well, he'll probably talk a little bit more about it later, but sure. This is a car, a dream car in many ways, a car that he's lusted after
for a long time.
For a very long time. And, you know, we might as well make this a little bit of a vlog, so...
Probably shouldn't go on the internet.
It's too funny. You don't see that. Let me have the radio. Man, you must have one of them self-driving cars. You want car? It's awesome.
It's that new Ford technology.
Robot, yeah. Let's talk about long-term goals, right? And, you know, you guys have heard in the news lately about a bunch of scientists that have basically, through the longest past known to mankind, right? They landed a probe on a comet that's traveling 83,000 miles away. How'd they do it? They didn't get up overnight and say, you know, we're gonna put a probe on that comet and and it's done. They didn't do that. It was actually a lot. It involved a lot more. And so, if you think about it, you know, mankind have been looking up and staring at the stars for centuries, probably since the dawn of time. But somebody had the idea that I don't want to just stare at the stars. I want to ride the stars. I want to know what's out there. And they decided to put a probe on a comet traveling 83,000 miles. A comet, incidentally, that's only 2.5 miles wide. In terms of space, that's a speck. That's a speck of dust. How'd they do it? Come on up, guys. Slingshot. Keep that in.
What was that?
Slingshot.
Gotcha.
How'd they do it? It took a bunch of folks, a small group of scientists, to frankly think outside the box, think differently than the masses. Rather than staring at the stars, they set goals. They planted seeds and they waited. And they didn't do it haphazardly. There are clear steps they had to take to get to this day, 10 years later, planting an even smaller speck.
So you want to swing around me whenever I get out of the shot?
Roger that. They put an even smaller speck. Roger. Smaller speck on a speck of space, a dust in space. Isn't that amazing? So, Mike, what do you think about this, and how do you incorporate those kinds of thinking? You know, you're going to be picking up something really sweet today, and so, you know, you didn't just wake up overnight and decide that's going to be it.
It's been a long time coming. So I've been thinking about this since I was in middle school, probably.
In middle school.
It's been what, like 15 years or something?
15 years. There you go. Longer than this comment's been.
More than 15 years.
Yep. So here we are. Oh my God. Oh yeah.
That was sweet. I can't believe how well the thing came out. It just blew my mind.
Look at those wheels. really sweet. There's the proud daddy.
I can't believe.
Oh, and this is a version to the pop-up headlights. Oh yeah. Oh yes.
And obviously we still have the front end movement.
Oh man, I'm
It's got the paperwork.
Oh, you're gonna be nervous.
Yeah, actually, so this is like all the records. From,
All the records.
Not all, but like
Well,
a
most
lot
of
of
them.
records from. I mean, it's 23-year-old car. But I think it's just. I think I really liked your point about someone having to come up with the idea, because so many people, I mean, everyone looks up at the stars, right? It's just like everyone is kind of going through life, going to work every day. You know, everyone's doing more or less a similar cycle.
Yeah.
But
Working hard.
but
and lots of people work hard.
someone had to come up and say, hey, you know, we can do something different. We can do something 10x or 100x times better than what exists. It's like, let's not just look at the comets. Let's not look at the stars. Let's look at let's try and land something up there. And it's like, I'm sure at the time they were like, what are you crazy? You know, like, how is that even possible? But then once someone says, hey, why don't we do that? And then someone does some calculations, like, actually that's possible, you know? And it has been possible for a little while. It takes that initial spark, you know, someone needs to come up with that idea, and then all the pieces kind of fall into line. So I think a big key of that is, you know, you have to be looking for opportunities and looking for kind of actively thinking about how can you be way better than where you are right now. Not just like, you know, 2 or 3% better, but like long term, how can you be 10 or 100 times better than who you are right now?
Yeah.
And that's a huge part.
And again, it's, you know, as you said, lots of people work hard, but it's also thinking outside the box. Somebody or a group of people had to say, you know what? Everybody else is doing this. They're looking at the stars, but I want to do better. I want to not only just look at the stars. I want to ride the stars. I want to be up there.
You want to influence things.
You want to
going on out
influence,
there.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, so at the end of the day, right, if you want that success, it's not going to fall into your lap. You've got to plan for it. You've got to plant those seeds. So these scientists created the biggest and longest pass, as we said. Think about that in terms of football. That is an incredible pass. So
It might be better coming up another right lane to get past all these cars and get past that truck. Because there's a few cars in the left lane going kind of slow.
Roger. We almost ran over Fluffy there.
Yeah, I saw that.
Well, that's running over Fluffy again and again.
Just had to make sure.
More coffee.
So the longest pass known
Left
to
lane.
longest pass known to man. So the question is, what's your trick shot? And are you ready to take it?